Q&A with Christophe.
Q&A with Christophe.
Q&A with Christophe.
Well, I've received 3 questions on technologies, and they kind of overlap each other, so I'm going to answer those 3 questions in one video. The first one is, well, a very general question from Jan. Is technology the solution for the future? Well, yes, of course it is. Let's face it, since the beginning of mankind, we have constantly been searching for new tools, new ways of doing things better. And technology is, it's part of human nature. So definitely the technology keeps on evolving, and we're going to come with new ideas as we move on. But the thing is, technology alone, of course, doesn't solve our problems. It's kind of what I sometimes call a little bit the spoiled brat attitude. You know, you make a mess of your room, but mommy and daddy are going to fix it for you and going to clean it up for you. That's not going to work, and that's why I find we always have to look technology and link it to human nature, and the human dimension is essential. If you take one technology, well, there's plenty of examples of technologies can be used for good or can be used for evil. Even in the modern times, if you look at it, well, you could use TV to educate yourself, or you can use TV to get stupid. You can use internet to learn a lot of things, or you can use internet to, like some people, watch porn. You can use social media to help other people, or you can use social media to create chaos and spread hatred. So it's really, the two things are always interconnected, and let's face it, we will succeed with technology only if we have the right attitude, if we have the right mindset. So technology is a solution. It is an important solution, but it's not a solution that's just going to fix everything for us. We have to also give some input. Second question on technology, it comes from Peter. Which technologies will solve our problems? Well, I don't think there's one technology in particular, because first we have many different problems and we have many different ways of solving them, depending on who is trying to solve them, where the problem is, the nature of the problem. I don't see a technology particularly fixing the problems, but like I've said in many of my presentations, really, I see a system where basically we need to develop the synapses between all the different parts of the organisms that we create with technologies. I remember more than 10 years ago I was already explaining in agriculture, for instance, between the satellites, the sensors, the robots, all the machines, the software. All those things are going to really give their full potential only if we find ways of connecting them. And I think at the moment artificial intelligence is basically creating those synapses, so definitely artificial intelligence is going to contribute very strongly in the future to solve problems. It will create problems too, but nonetheless. But no, I think the thing is, we never must think in terms of that one miraculous providential technology that's going to solve all the problems. I think it's it's a combination of many things. Everybody in their areas have to bring their own solutions, contribute to solving problems. And I think we'll make more progress that way. If we wait for that one thing that's going to solve everything, well, we're going to wait long and without much success. No, there's lots of things happening already, but everybody has to bring their own contribution to the solutions. So not one particular technologies, but a myriad of technologies, and especially more and more interactions, interfaces, collaboration. I think these are important terms when we look at how to use technology to solve problems in the future. And then there's a third one that's a little more teasing in a way. It's from Kevin saying, some people say that food tech is a distraction and is not solving any problem. Do you agree? Well, I don't know. You have to look at case by case. You know, I'm always very cautious with generalizations because under one term, very often we can have very different applications. And food tech is a term that covers so many different applications. I can give only one answer. It's not a distraction to me in the sense that when we have problems we have to solve them, and to solve them we have to try things, and you know, we would be lucky if every time we solve problems at the first trial. So no, we have to encourage people to bring solutions and try new things, and I think that's very important. We must not discourage, we must not, you know, be prejudiced. Sometimes, you know, I see some ideas and I'm not convinced, or I don't see much potential, but nonetheless I always talk about it if I'm asked to, because maybe that particular technology is not going to be the solution, but maybe it's going to be the start of further developments, and later then thanks to that, you know, that starter, then we will have some good solutions. So in that regard it's not a distraction. But yes, you can consider it a distraction in the sense that a lot of food tech startups in particular, let's face it, it has become an investor's game. A lot of people who want to, you know, they hope on a high return, quick return. It's more about money than solving the problems, even if they claim, of course, otherwise. Yes, there is a lot of money that is put in things that, you know, maybe will benefit, what, 1% of the world population. So in that sense, I would say, yeah, it's kind of a distraction. It diverts money from probably things that would be more useful. And let's face it, in food and agriculture, you can't expect high returns and quick returns. You know, there are some people, some startups that have been very successful, and indeed, yes, some people have made lots of money out of it, but it's a tiny minority. What we see happening actually, because the returns are not all that great and not that fast, the funding of food tech and ag tech has dropped quite a bit over the last year and the last couple of years, so it's on the way down. I think people are more cautious and they don't just you know, take at face value what startup CEOs are claiming, and that's a good thing. We have to be more critical because yeah, it's easy to get very enthusiastic, but you also have to show something tangible to convince investors. So yeah, it's a distraction in that sense, but I would say maybe it's a necessary distraction. We can't expect that every attempt, every new technology is going to be done, you know, to save the world, although a lot of people are claiming to save the world, but I don't believe in that too much. I think, like I was saying in the previous topic, we all have to bring a contribution. We all have to bring a piece in the puzzle, but no food tech is going to save it all. No ag tech is going to fix everything either. We all have to do what we can in our own areas, and I think that's what it's important. And if, yeah, there is money that is not well spent from an investor's point of view, well, okay, yeah, we can discuss about that. But I would say what I find a pity is that there are lots of things that require money, that would really solve a lot of problems, that would solve problems for a lot more than 1% of the world population. But just because the returns are not high, and the returns are you know, take a long time to materialize, then the money is not flowing in there, and that's a pity. And how to change that, then that's where you need a real philanthropist. And unfortunately, philanthropist today is a word that's very often used to, well, to give a nicer optics to the term investors, but in the end it's always about investing. Yeah, that's the problem. But anyway, you know, tech might be a distraction, but I think it's a necessary distraction, and it might lead to something else. So, you know, it's yes and it's no.
If you're interested in my videos, please click on the subscribe button, or you can also visit my website.